Good morning. Sorry. Happy Saturday. Yep, it's my Monday. Yay. So I actually had a long weekend, man. It's been kind of raining since freaking Friday midday, and it kept me in my pad for the last day, and it's still raining right now, so we need it. So, but man, I really got kind of bored, actually. I mean, like, getting outside and doing my walk for a few miles, it really breaks the day up. It really it consumes half the day almost to do something like that. I kind of got used to doing that, and when I didn't, I kind of got cooped up feeling, man, you know. But it's okay. I got a lot of rest. I got a lot of rest in to the point where I couldn't handle laying there anymore. That's how much rest I was getting. I was getting restless, okay? But, and a little bored. I was getting bored. That's okay. Lot going on through my head. Last night, I woke up at like 3 a.m. and it took me about an hour to fall back asleep. It was a lot going on in my head. I was watching some old videos on my channel because I was bored. I was bored and there was nothing on. Like there was nothing like interesting to me. It was like all political crap, all news type stuff, and just nothing was like interesting, you know. And so I was getting tired of looking for something to watch. The news was like not happening, so I just started going through my old videos, and I was going into some of my older like beer reviews, and you know, I'll admit I had some fun doing the beer reviews. I did. I was looking back, and it was a Beechwood beer I was reviewing, and I would do like little comedy things in there mixed in with it, and like, you know, I was having fun with the beer and the beer reviews. I was having fun doing that. Now that I'm looking back on my channel and I'm watching some of these older you know, videos, I was having some fun. I don't regret doing that. You know, and it also made me reflect, you know, on my life. It's kind of what you do when you get sober. You start reflecting on your life and my life, and, you know, trying to figure out how I got to where I am, you know, and why I'm where I'm at. And kind of getting sober, you kind of figure out yourself. You get to know your past because you reflect. And you know, a lot of the reasons I was drinking, they're not the same, okay? There's a lot of reasons why I drank, okay? Most of the time I drank because it just makes you feel good, you know? When you got a nice buzz going, it releases whatever, endorphins, I guess, I don't know. But, you know, you feel good when you have a couple of few in you. You know you do. And, you know, I was trying to think, like, I know I'm a little scatterbrained right now, but I was thinking, watching the videos of myself, old reviews, and it made me reflect, and I was thinking, why did I drink so much? Why did I even drink in the first place? Because it's like liquid crack, man. It's like liquid crack. You get a rush off of it, right? You kind of get a rush. It makes you feel good, makes you relaxed, makes you loosen up. And that's the main reason, I drank. And like, you start building the tolerance, right? So you have to drink more to kind of get them feelings, Or if you get hungover, I'm just going through reasons why I drink so much, because the feelings, it's like chasing the dragon, like crack. You're chasing that rush, right? You're chasing that feeling. And then you get addicted to it. And then you're just kind of maintaining, and every once in a while, when you've had a certain amount, in my case, a lot, you finally get that buzz, and then you're cool. You feel good, okay? But man, just like drugs, if you don't, if you don't have it, you kind of go through a little bit of like a withdrawal, right? You want it, you crave it. You do, you kind of crave it. And sometimes you don't know what to do with yourself if you don't have that. It's like it gets to be a routine. And sometimes I would use it to just numb myself from my own thoughts, okay? My own feelings, I'd just drown them out, okay, with alcohol. Drugs do it too, weed kind of, it's different though. But, alcohol is probably the best at numbing yourself, okay? Alcohol is the number one number, okay, number. It's a number. And I'm not gonna lie, watching those old reviews, it kind of triggered. It was a trigger a little bit, because it was making me remember how good some of them beers really were. I had some really good beers. High alcohol, extremely delicious, tasty beers that made me feel good. That's hard to stop that, okay? And like, I was all about it, and watching those older reviews, it made me kind of miss that. It did, I ain't gonna lie. It made me miss it. And the brain was trying to trick me a little bit, like, you could go back and drink beers and be just fine. I probably could. I probably could. And like, then I think about being sober. I've been sober I'm going to be up on 2 years here pretty soon. And I'm not going to lie, it hasn't all been great. It's been hard at times. It has been hard. It gets boring. You do lose friends. You do. You lose friends. You lose a lot of your social life. You lose that tool to break the ice in whatever setting. You lose that liquid courage. You lose a lot, because alcohol does more than just get you buzzed. It helps you loosen up. It gives you courage, temporarily. It gives you something to have something in common with people. You have something to do. When you're into alcohol, you always have something to do, and it's something you can share with people. You can create a social life with it. It has its benefits, okay? So, but a lot of the reason I'm not doing it is because health reason, number one, money, number two, I can't afford that habit. At least the beers I like, my beers I like, I'm like a little bitch when it comes to beers, man. I like the expensive shit because you get what you pay for with beer, okay? And the beers I like were $5 each, and I just can't afford that, okay? I can't afford the good beers. Even if I wanted to, I can't afford it, okay? But I don't want to because I like being free from that addiction, okay? Because it is an addiction. And, you know, I'll admit I'm still trying to figure out how to feel happy without that tool, okay? It's still a issue. It's still a challenge to feel happy without anything. I'm not gonna lie, it's still a challenge. And boredom is still a real issue. I still get really bored, man. Like, because I don't go out anymore. I don't go on panels anymore. A lot of the friends I have, I don't have that in common with them now. So they just kind of are fading. My friendships are fading. Most of them, really. But you know what? I need to be sober because I need to give me a chance at just figuring out myself without having to be relying on anything to get through this life. It's better. I just want to do it like this because I do feel good uh, more than half the time, I would say. I'd say 70% of the time I feel really good. But that other, 30%, it's tough. 40%, yeah, 30. I struggle because I get bored. Um, I just don't know what to do with myself sometimes because I've always used alcohol as a uh, catalyst to entertain myself and get me into social settings. And when I'm in social settings, to handle social settings, okay, or just deal with people. Um, you know, it's a lot easier to meet people and crack one and drink and feel relaxed and start shooting the shit. It's totally different when you're not doing that, okay? And our society evolves around alcohol for the most part. There's alcohol involved in almost every setting in our society, okay? And most people consume it. So it's tough in that aspect because you're not partaking. I'm not partaking in that. And I'm still trying to learn I'm okay with it. It's just I'm not used to having a social life without it, really. I'm not. And it's tough. I'm telling you right now, it's not easy. Um, it is getting a little better for me, but I think it's a slow process, man. It's, at least for me, I can't speak for anybody else, but it's a slow process to get used to. And like I said in my other videos, I don't know if I'll be sober forever, but I'm gonna try as long as I can, okay? Because there's lots of reasons. Number one reason, I want to be healthy. I'm trying to be fit. Number two, I'm trying to not spend money on things I don't need, okay? I don't need beer, okay? I don't need it. I wish I, didn't have a problem with it and I can do it responsibly, but I've proven to myself I can't do that, okay? I just can't because it starts out okay and it always ends up in binge drinking, and I spend all my extra money on beer for the most part. I mean, my beer habit was up to $600 a month. That's pretty much all my funny money, all my entertainment fund. Starting to rain again. But I've got a lot going through my head. lately. I did take the video down I made the other day from the riverbed because I cringed out, and it was about alcohol and purpose, and I kind of went off a little too much. I looked at it and I was like, I don't know. It seems like I'm just kind of rambling. So I took it down, and I felt like I was a little too preachy, and I don't want to be preachy. So I was thinking last night, I could see why, I drank, because I was around it when I was a child. Everybody did it, and I got hooked. I got into it, and it was with me most of my life. For the most part, most of my adult life, alcohol was a part of it, and that's part of the reason why I'm not doing it. I haven't done it for the last year and 3/4, is because I just want to see what life is like without it. And it had, like I said, it has its ups and downs. It's like, you know, almost 50-50, I'd say. But it'll get better, I think, I hope. I think that it's always going to be kind of a challenge, because once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. It's like, you and just the way society is, it's not really geared for, well, I can't say that. It's just there, you know. But I know what it's like. I know what I used it for and how it made me feel, and I'll never forget that, and that's why it's always going to be like a little bit of a challenge to not do it. Okay? You know what I'm trying to spray? So, yeah, I have all these thoughts in my head, and last night, I was flopping around and just reflecting on my life. And, you know, part of what keeps me going is I realize what, problems it can cause. And I see it with other people, the problems it's causing them. And that kind of helps me keep going with my sobriety, because some people, they just won't stop. They will just keep going, and they don't have any plans on stopping, which is cool. Everybody does their thing. But for me, I'm okay with being sober, but it's tough at times. It is. I know I'm starting to repeat myself, but I'm just saying. And it's, like on a rainy day, like rainy weekend like I just had, I would just sit in my pad and just drink extra because I was cooped up, right? So it would really be on. So I'm not doing that. And so it's a challenge to have fun, have a social life, kind of just do things that are fun, entertaining. It's still a struggle to be entertained and stuff like that without alcohol, because how I did it for most of my life, and now I'm not, and it's still a struggle. So that's all I got. I just kind of wanted to talk about a little bit of what was going on in my head last night, and just a lot of reflecting and trying to understand why I'm where I'm at now. Okay. And it's still a struggle to try to work it out, you know, trying to figure me out. But, you know, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good, and that's all that matters. And I'm doing pretty good, you know. Um, One thing I wanted to touch on that's not related to alcohol is be very careful. I know you probably already are when you're out and about, because I was shopping yesterday. I got a text on my phone. Someone is trying to charge my account for like over $2,500, and they asked if it was me, and I'm like, nope. So somehow someone got my access to my account and was trying to charge like large amounts to it, and we had to shut it down, shut the card down, my debit card, get me a new one. And you know, that fortunately that big amount got denied, and they did get away with the $9 charge. That was the one that triggered my account. So I disputed that. I'm gonna get that money back, and there's one more pending that just went through that I need to go talk to them about today for like $50. So be very careful when you're out and about. I'm usually very careful. I am careful, and they still somehow got my damn a way to charge my debit card. So stay on top of that. And you know, fortunately I have a really good bank, and I have a very good protection plan on my account, and they caught it. So you know, keep an eye on that stuff, man. I don't know how they got. The only way I can think of it is when I use my ATM at the gas pump, and I usually use the same gas station. So somehow they got the information on my card. I don't know how they were able to use it, but they tried to charge my card a large amount, and they didn't get it, fortunately, because my bank rocks. Have a good bank, okay? My banks connect us, so they're a very good bank. They have good protection plans there. So thanks for stopping by. It's starting to rain pretty good. I got my umbrella here. Kind of rambling now. I got to get to work. So y'all have a fantastic Saturday, and we'll catch you later. See ya.